Make no mistake, Suga is a warm, sweet, thoughtful friend hiding behind a level 12 resting savage face. But if there's anything Suchwita episode 16 to 20 proved is that his brain is so sharp and maddeningly deep sometimes, it's easy to miss what he's saying if you aren't really listening. Here are 10 moments when Suga spilled sizzling hot tea in Suchwita, including how a group's treatment of their fans can affect the longevity of their popularity.
Hi! If you ended up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. Of course, share the video if you can. Also, click that subscribe button, that notification button so that you don't miss a single video. And follow me on all the social media accounts that you see on your screen right now, especially on X, formerly Twitter. That's where I upload other content, and then Instagram on other projects, personal projects and other personal stuff. And I will be announcing other things too in the future.
How K-pop groups treat their fans will dictate how long their popularity will last. This is not the first time Suga mentioned they will grow old with armies. But there was something about this one that struck a chord, at least to me. Perhaps it was how Suga was candidly talking about the word army and what it means in French and in the US. In France, it actually means friends, but in America, it's a group of soldiers. It's so cuddly and sweet in Europe, but in the US, it sounds strong and intimidating. Well, armies both. Suga's recognition of the duality of BTS's fandom and later on saying that the whole group will grow old with the fandom made me look back at the groups that have remained solid for this long. And I am not just talking about K-pop groups, but artists from other countries as well. Taylor Swift, love her or hate her, has consistently responded to fans' requests and addressed fans' inquiries. She talks about the subjects and meanings of her songs with her fans, and she creates performances inspired by fan requests. She has remained within the bounds of what she knows will be acceptable to her fans. Never too sexualized, powerful, but never out of reach. She has been around 20 years and she's not showing any signs of dissent. Linkin Park has managed to maintain its fandom because it has nurtured its relationship with their fans through LP Underground, their fan club, regularly releasing works and messages directly to fans, bypassing mainstream media outlets. There are a few more. BTS, and in this show, Suga, has articulated what allows them to maintain not just their reputation but their popularity. They address the fans directly. They cater to their fans, not the general public, not the media. After all, fans are the ones that will market them outside of the fandom. Their job, in turn, is to keep the relationship with the fandom going. If they can do that, then they know that the support will never go away. Unfortunately, many artists, again, not just K-pop artists, but globally, they are too obsessed with themselves and becoming more popular that they neglect the people who have already been supporting them. In business, there is what we call the Pareto principle. 80% of your revenue will come from 20% of your current customers. It may be true, even in the music industry. Take care of your current base and they will do the marketing for you. BTS is aware of their impact. BTS doesn't talk of how good they are or how humongous their impact is often. I remember J-Hope in the Run BTS episode where they had the T1 team. He said the T1 is the BTS of gaming. The rest of the members giggled and RM told J-Hope that he should have let the subtitles say it for them. It was lighthearted, but I was glad to hear it because we don't hear it often. We hear them talk about their hard work, sometimes their struggles, but most of the time it's about the meaning and substance behind their music. They are so humble that it has to be armies to tell the world of their impact. It's a pleasure to hear them talk or express their awareness of how they have changed the global music industry. Suga did that in this episode. He said that after the AMA performance, they suddenly felt so lost because no one has been able to go farther than they have come. But he also said that later on they realized that the farther they go, the easier it is for artists who will come after them. In other words, they are aware that they are paving the damn way. Nobody tells Kim Tae-young what to do. We need to understand that each BTS member is in a different stage of their creative journey. Kim Tae-young made that plenty clear, and people should stop comparing each BTS's member from the other. They are different people with different preferences, different strategies, and they are all navigating their way to finding their own artistic identities. Kim Tae-young can write songs. We have heard many of his own lyrics and beats. It was his decision to start accepting songs from other writers and his decision to work with an outside producer. It was what he felt was right for him at that time so that he can step outside of the group and find his own way. Get this in your head. Nobody tells Kim Tae-young what to do except Kim Tae-young. Great artists respect live shows. I have never heard anyone speak of concerts and shows with the same level of critical thinking as BTS. That is until Kim Jong-un. In this conversation, you can see, feel, and hear the utmost respect they have towards themselves, their art, and their audience. It is that respect that motivates them to reinvent the concert experience. BTS concerts form a narrative, a story from beginning to end. Much like their music videos, it's a narrative that leaves clues instead of spoon-feeding their fans with facts. They make you think. It certainly isn't just half-assed performances of songs put together. There's an actual story being told. Not only that, their tours are global festivals with pre- and post-concert activities that motivate and inspire fans to interact not just with the band but with each other. It creates a community bound not just by their love for BTS but by the common sentiments and shared experiences spoken through BTS's music. Nell, on the other hand, said that concerts are the composite of an artist's music. It has to be an elevated experience. Nell decided to transcend the sensory experience of music, extending it to the olfactory appeal of attending a concert. Spraying cologne or scents through the air vent, Nell associated a specific scent to their music and to the experience. As a trivia, many believe that sense of smell is often the last to go when a person dies. The proximity of the olfactory receptors to the brain and their close link to the emotional and memory centers of the brain make it last longer than our other senses. And conversations like this make you realize what a difference brains, sensitivity, and dedication to their craft can really make in how people experience and remember music. Doing things to make fans happy isn't selling out. Fan service has a bad reputation. It shouldn't. It's the act of an artist doing things that fans requested or doing things fans like. It has a bad rep because the things fans are asking idols to do often have nothing to do with their music or profession. When Wang Min-yoon appeared as a guest, they talked about how they have come to find purpose in making other people happy, specifically their fans. It is, after all, the point of life to be able to grow our skill and use it to help others. Suga said that he knew he wasn't going to use the Hegum choreography, but decided to do it because he knows armies are going to like it. Min-yoon said if he could just add something special to the lives of his fans by doing what he does, why not? It's time to remove the stigma of fan service. Not all acts of fan service are bad. Some are exactly what artists are supposed to be doing, using their talents and resources at the very least to make other people's day better. On the other hand, fans should do their part. They should be asking their idols to do things that are connected to music. Skill is not the key to success. One thing that stood out in the conversation of Suga and Lee Kang-in is their discussion of routine. Lee Kang-in wakes up, he eats, he trains, rests, and then do everything again the next day. That figures. For those of you who play sports at any level, you would know the importance of muscle memory. Things have to be so routinary that you shouldn't have to think about how to react to things when it happens on the court. Suga shared the same thing with their group. Practice was all they did. And if there's anything BTS has in common with world-class athletes like Lee Kang-in, it's their routine. the routine towards excellence. That's what separates the best from the rest. The willingness to drive yourself to the ground, to work yourself to exhaustion until your craft is second nature to you. Because at the end of the day, there are many people out there blessed with a natural talent or skill, but only a few become the best because only a few are willing to put in the work. Same experience, different impact. We can all experience the same tragedy and come out on the other end in different forms and frames of mind. BTS members were all in the same boat as they ascended to the top of the global music industry, and they all dealt with it in different ways. With such a famed extroverted personality, many thought V would recover the fastest. Instead, he felt he was hit the hardest. I don't know V personally, so what I'm about to say, I am basing it on what they have said about themselves and what they have shown us. I do not claim to be right. I believe it had more to do with his attitude towards work. He seemed to have always been the one to push for experiences outside of music. So when they couldn't do anything else but work, it affected him harshly. However, it's interesting that it was his efforts to plan a 3-day vacation without cameras, without music, without work that actually started the group's recovery, as many of them have attested to. His efforts to rediscover each other outside of music reminded them why they were doing music in the first place. The necessary evil in artists' lives. Artistry requires freedom. Perfection takes time. Business requires schedule, and profit requires products. That's why many artists don't manage the business side of their career. The primary interest will always be the perfection of their own art. Kim Jong-un of NEL proved that when he said that they initially moved out of their management to have the freedom to release their songs when they wanted to, when it is perfect for them, only to find out that they weren't able to release any because they were never perfectly happy with their work, causing them to delay the release of their albums. That's when they realized they needed deadlines. They needed to be pressured, and that's what management provides. This brings me back to what Suga said about not wanting to be a producer. A producer of a group will have to be as concerned about profit as he is about the group, and that will force him to make difficult decisions that will not always be in the side of the artist. He will be hated, and there won't be anything he can do about it. Business is the necessary part of an artist's life. Time doesn't really care about us. For those of you who witnessed the rise and peak of SHINee, you would understand how hard Taemin was criticized. He was accused of being a poor singer, and he was constantly compared to the other members of SHINee. Taemin thought that reaching maturity would change things for him. He thought that as soon as he reached legal age, things would start to change. Suga said the same thing happened to him. He thought things will magically transform the minute he reaches maturity. We all know that never happens. Clock hits 12 and they were still in the same place and they were still the same person. Time doesn't really care about people. It goes by using its own pace with complete disregard for anything that's happening in the world. This is what happens literally every second of the day, and many of us still don't get it. Taemin and Suga reminded us that time is never going to change things for us. Only we can change things for us, and it often requires hard work, a lot of sacrifice, patience, and some skill. Being someone's fan is better than being someone's hero. Lee Kang-in looks like a mischievous angel, but the moment he started talking about his childhood coach, the man who bet on him, his number one fan, you could literally see the transformation of his face. It's the look of respect, awe, and gratitude. That's what unconditional and critical support can do to people. It can give someone enough confidence to shoot for the stars. It doesn't take much to change someone's life. Belief, faith, and support. May we all be someone's number one fan.
Okay, no, that was a lot. I do want to know what you think, though. Please leave them in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to a healthy conversation with you guys. You can say whatever it is that you want to say, just please do so respectfully. Also, if you ended up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you feel like somebody else will find it helpful or will find it interesting, please forward it or share it on your social media accounts. And subscribe and hit that notification button so that you don't miss a single video. Also, follow me on all the social media accounts that you see on your screen right now, especially on X, formerly Twitter. I'm uploading new content there. And for other personal stuff, it will be on Instagram. And as I've mentioned before in the opening, I will be opening Patreon. I'm just preparing some stuff on what I can offer there. That's different from what I'm already offering here. Thank you so much.